Roblox developers are making way more money than most people think. And no, I'm not talking about some random kid making 20 Robux from a donation game. I'm talking about real money because Roblox reported that the top 10 developers averaged $38.5 million per year. Yeah, $38.5 million from Roblox. And when I first saw that number, I honestly thought, okay, there's no way this is real. But actually, guys, it is. And if you're sitting there thinking, okay, but how? Then that's exactly what this video is about. Because I'm learning Roblox development right now, and that from scratch. And once I started actually looking at these numbers, I needed to understand how this is even possible. So let's break it down. First thing that you need to understand, Roblox developers don't get paid in dollars directly because they earn Robux. And then through a program called DevX, Developer Exchange, they convert these Robux into real money. For example, 350 Robux equals $1. That will be 350,000 Robux will be $1,000. Now, the conversion rate isn't really great on its own, but that's not the point. The point is scale. Here's how games actually generate Robux. Most Roblox games earn between 1 and 2 Robux per visit. High monetization games, for example, pet simulators or just some, grinding games, can push 3 to 4 Robux per visit. So a game pulling 1 million visits per day at 2 Robux per visit, that's 2 million Robux. That's about $7,000 per day. After DevX, that's over $200,000 per month. And that's not a top game. That's a mid-tier game, but with, decent traffic and solid monetization. Now let's talk about how Robux actually comes in. So there are three main ways developers earn it. First, there are game passes, like one-time purchases, like, I don't know, in a game, for example, the VIP zone, a special ability, extra speed, or yeah, things that player pay once, and developers earn every time someone buys. And then there are developer products. These are repeatable purchases, for example, extra coins, boosts, in game currency. So, yeah, things that players can buy over and over again. And this is really where the real and most of the Robux comes from. And then there are, private servers, players pay to host their own session. That's a small player income, but, at the scale, it adds up, okay? And games that make real money usually have all three running at once, and that not aggressively, but strategically. And that distinction matters a lot. We'll come back to it, okay? All right, let me give you a real example of how this scales. For example, a small game. Let's say it has 400 concurrent players, and it's well optimized, it has good monetization and decent traffic. That game can realistically generate 200,000 Robux per day. And that's about $700 per day, okay? That will be about 20K per month. $250,000 per year, okay? And that is a mid-tier game, but a good game with decent traffic, okay? So from 400 players, and that's really considered mid-tier. There are games with 100,000 players. Now let's step it up. A game stabilized at 1,000 concurrent players, healthy traffic, 2 Robux per visit, solid monetization. You're really looking at 30,000 to 60,000 per month. That's 360,000 to 700,000 per year. For a small team, sometimes a team of 2 or 3 people, that's really a lot. And then at the very top, games like Pet Simulator X, Bloxfruits, Adopt Me, these have like billions of visits, hundreds of thousands of concurrent players during updates. If a game pulls 5 million visits in a day, at 2 Robux per visit, that's 10 million Robux and 35,000 in a single day. And I want to be clear, the biggest games are making far more than that. During peak update spikes, 7-figure stays have happened multiple times across multiple games, okay? Is that consistent daily income? Not really. But stack enough high performing days together, and that's how you build a multi-million-dollar studio. Here's the thing, I'm a beginner developer. I've been learning Roblox Studio, scripting, UI, basic game mechanics, all of it. And the first thing that I noticed is that most beginner games get 0 players. Not 10, not 5, 0, okay? You will upload the game, maybe your friends play for 5 minutes and that's it, And the reason isn't bad luck. It's 3 specific things. Okay? First, we have weak retention. Secondly, poor monetization. And third, no iteration. All right. What does even weak retention mean? Well, weak retention means players leave too fast. Roblox works similarly to YouTube. Every game gets tested by the algorithm. Maybe you saw I put a little more effort into the start of this video than in the middle part. And the reason why I did that is for the retention. If you see it till here, then you're lucky because I'm gonna really share good things with you. And stay till here and no, not stay till here, stay till the end, okay? So yeah, let me continue. So every game gets tested by the algorithm. Do people click the thumbnail? How long do they stay? Do they come back tomorrow? If those numbers are weak, the algorithm stops pushing the game. And without algorithmic traffic, you will be invisible. And poor monetization means you're either too aggressive or too passive. Too aggressive is when players feel ripped off and then, leave. Too passive is you cap your revenue even when traffic is good. Getting this balance right is genuinely difficult. But if you can do it, then actually, good job, bro. And then no iteration. What does this even mean? The games that make it don't get it right on the first version. They update, they test, they read feedback, they fix what's broken and double down on what works. Most beginners upload a game and wait for something to happen. And when nothing happens, the developer will stop and, do nothing. But the developers who eventually succeed, they didn't have better ideas. They just kept going on and on. Longer. They just did it, okay? But if you stop at where you are, if your game is not good, if you don't like it, okay. Then start a new one, okay? It's hard, but you should just stay consistent. Really, because consistency is the key. Yeah. All right, so what do the successful games have that the failed ones don't? Again, the answer is really retention. And retention comes from one thing, a gameplay loop that keeps players coming back. You join, something happens immediately. You earn a reward, that reward upgrades something. The upgrade unlocks something new. That new thing makes you want to compete with other players, and competing makes you want to log back in tomorrow. This will be one example of how it will work. Yeah, and that's it. That's the loop. So easy, right? To make it, it's a bit harder than to say it, of course, but if you can do this, good job, bro. And the best Roblox games nail this so well that players don't even realize they're in it. For example, think back about the game you played before, Rivals or Block Shoots. These games really make you to come back, don't they? Yeah, and for example, pet simulators, they do it with collection and trading. Fighting games, they do it with progression and PvP. Tycoon games do it with passive income and comparison, just like Grow a Garden with the passive and offline growing. So every successful game genre on Roblox has its version of this loop. And on top of that loop, you will need a thumbnail that makes people click. So really make a good thumbnail, even on YouTube. Actually, guys, these tips also work on YouTube. You will need updates that bring players back. You need a monetization model that feels fair. not too aggressive, not too passive, and you need to actually listen to your community. This is a step that people really don't do much. You will have to listen to your community and, try to do what they want or just try it, okay? Here's what I've realized as I'm learning all of this. Roblox development at any serious level isn't just making games, okay? It's really not just that. It's a product design, it's data analysis, it's marketing, it's customer support. If you're not upload if you're not uploading a hobby project, you will be launching a product inside a platform with 70 million daily active users, okay? And most of those 70 million users log in, play for a while, spend a little Robux. Well, not many of these, but yeah, then they leave. They never think about the developer. They never think about the economy they're participating in. Maybe, but only maybe, if the game is good and they like it and they, play it for a very long time. But multiply that behavior across millions of players, across thousands of games, every single day. And you will be starting to understand why the payout numbers look the way they do. Roblox Roblox isn't a game platform, it's a digital economy, okay? And the developers at the top, they're not just making games, they're running serious companies. And if you're watching this video, you're just like me at the very beginning of this. You will still probably learning scripts right now. You will be still breaking things in Roblox Studio. You will be still figuring out how to build something that someone actually wants to play. But understanding how this economy actually works, understanding the math, the retention, the loop, that will really change how you will be approach building games. So if you want to follow this journey, a beginner developer trying to actually figure this out, well, that's me, okay? Then subscribe. Bye.